Atomic Habits is a transformative self-help book that explains how small, incremental changes can lead to significant improvement in life. James Clear emphasizes that massive success doesn't come from grand gestures, but rather from tiny actions performed consistently. The idea is that these atomic habits, small habits that are easy to do but pack a powerful punch over time, can compound and create life-changing results. Clear introduces a step-by-step system to help readers build good habits, break bad ones, and master the behaviors that lead to success. The core concept, small habits compound over time. The fundamental idea of the book is that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. Even if the changes seem insignificant at first, small habits can lead to significant improvements if done consistently over time. Clear suggests aiming for just a 1% improvement every day, which will compound to significant progress in a year. The key is focusing on these small habits rather than dramatic overhauls. By doing so, you avoid burnout, overwhelm, or demotivation. The 4 Laws of Behavior Change. Clear introduces a framework called the 4 Laws of Behavior Change, which are principles designed to help you build good habits and break bad ones. These 4 laws are based on a loop that every habit follows, and they are essential for making your habits automatic over time. Law 1, Q, make it obvious. 1. Every habit starts with a cue, a trigger that signals your brain to start a behavior. 2. The goal is to make the cue for good habits obvious in your environment and hide cues for bad habits. 3. For example, if you want to start reading more, keep a book on your bedside table, making it obvious and easy to pick up before bed. 3. Conversely, if you want to watch less TV, hide the remote or unplug the TV when you're not using it. Practical tip: use habit tracking and habit stacking, pairing a new habit with an existing one. For example, after you pour your morning coffee, you meditate for 1 minute. This helps you remember to do the new habit consistently. Law 2, craving, make it attractive. 1. Habits are driven by cravings, which are the motivational force behind every behavior. 2. To build good habits, make them appealing. 2. For example, associate a positive emotion or reward with the habit, like listening to your favorite music while exercising. 3. Clear also mentions the importance of social norms. 3. Surround yourself with people who have the habits you want to develop. 3. Being part of a group reinforces those behaviors. Practical tip: temptation bundling is a technique where you pair something you enjoy, watching your favorite show, with something you need to do, working out. This makes the habit more appealing and easier to stick with. Law 3, response, make it easy. 1. The response is the actual behavior you perform. 1. To successfully build habits, Clear suggests you need to make the action easy and convenient. 2. Reduce friction, make your environment work for you by minimizing the steps between you and the desired habit. 2. For example, if you want to eat healthier, pre-cut vegetables and have them ready in the fridge. 3. 2-minute rule, start with habits so small they take less than 2 minutes to complete. 3. For example, if you want to develop a reading habit, start by reading just 1 page a day. 3. The easier a habit is, the more likely you are to repeat it. Practical tip: make bad habits harder to do by increasing friction. For instance, if you want to stop using your phone at night, charge it in another room before bed so you won't be tempted. Law 4, reward, make it satisfying. 1. Every habit has a reward that reinforces the behavior and makes you want to repeat it. 2. For good habits, you should find a way to make the immediate reward satisfying. 2. Our brains are wired to seek short-term gratification, so it's important to give yourself a small reward after completing a habit to reinforce it. 3. Habit tracking can also be a great reward system. 3. Each time you complete a habit, you check it off your list or calendar, giving you a sense of accomplishment. Practical tip: to break bad habits, make them unsatisfying by creating a form of immediate negative feedback. For example, you could form an accountability system where you lose money or face a penalty if you don't stick to your habit. Identity-based habits. Clear also emphasizes the importance of focusing on identity over goals. Instead of concentrating solely on achieving a specific outcome, think about the type of person you want to become. Your habits should align with that identity. For example, instead of setting a goal to run a marathon, think of yourself as a runner. When you start to identify as the type of person who embodies the habits you're trying to build, the behaviors feel more natural. You begin to act in ways that match your identity, making it easier to sustain good habits in the long run. Practical tip: ask yourself, who is the kind of person that could achieve the things I want to achieve? Then, focus on becoming that person through your habits. The plateau of latent potential. One of the most valuable insights in the book is the concept of the plateau of latent potential. Clear explains that progress doesn't always happen linearly. Often, we make small improvements without seeing immediate results. It's easy to get discouraged during this phase, but Clear encourages readers to stick with it. The plateau of latent potential is the time when the small changes you've made are slowly compounding, and eventually, you will experience a breakthrough, what appears to be an overnight success. However, this is simply the result of consistent effort over time. Practical tip: focus on the process, not the end goal. Progress is often invisible at first, but with persistence, it will compound and pay off. Environment design. Clear emphasizes the importance of environment in shaping your behavior. Instead of relying on willpower, which is finite, he suggests designing your environment to make good habits easier and bad habits harder. This might mean organizing your physical space, changing your social circle, or altering your routines. For example, if you want to read more, make sure books are easily accessible in places where you spend time. If you want to quit smoking, avoid places and people that trigger the habit. Conclusion: how to apply atomic habits. James Clear's Atomic Habits teaches us that small actions repeated consistently can lead to extraordinary outcomes. By understanding the mechanics behind habit formation, cue, craving, response, and reward, you can engineer your habits to support long-term success. 1. Start small, focus on 1% improvements every day. 2. Use the 4 laws to build good habits, make them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. 3. Identity first, focus on becoming the person you want to be, rather than on just achieving specific goals. 4. Design your environment to work in your favor, so that good habits are easier to maintain and bad habits are harder to fall into. With this framework, you can reshape your habits and, ultimately, your life.